Welcome back, 7th graders. This is the safety video, video number 5 for carving your block. So, a couple of things that you need to have. You're going to need some of these tools. These are called Lino Cutters, and there's different size blades. You're going to need a scrap piece of easy cut to practice on, and then you're going to need ultimately your block that you're going to carve. So I'm going to tell you about these Lino Cutters first. There's different size and shape blades. Each one of the blades has a number on the back. You probably won't be able to see it from here. But if you look at the back, it'll say a number. So this is a 2. So these are the different types of blades, and I drew a little picture of each one so you could kind of see them. So the number 1 is a small V, the 2 is a deeper V, the 3 is a wider V, the 4 is more of a square-shaped cutting tool, and the 5 is like a big U, like a big scoop. I don't think you will use the 5 too much because our blocks are fairly small. That would be for carving out a really large area. So I'm going to ask that you not use that one for right now. The 4, and then you can use the 1 through 4. So I'm going to put away my 5 because I don't need it. So how these tools work is you use these to carve away some areas on your easy cut. So you can hold this tool like you would hold a pencil if you'd like. Okay. You could also hold this tool with a grip like this. So it's kind of like you're holding your thumb on one side and your fingers on the other, and then your pointer finger goes right on the top. And the reason we use the pointer finger on the top is because it can help sort of guide the tool so you have a little bit more precision. So I kind of go back and forth between holding it like a pencil and carving away from myself and holding it like with this grip with my pointer finger on top. So what I'm doing is I'm carving across the surface. Okay, you're using this tool like a scoop, so you're scooping out an area. And what I'd like you to do on this little practice piece is I want you to try to do some of the designs that you might have on your block, because I want you to do like a little practice. So if you have little swirls, I want you to try that. So a lot of people are tempted to just use the number 1 tool for the whole thing, but I gotta tell you, it's really hard with the number 1 tool because it only carves a very shallow little channel, and so it's very easy when we go to the inking part of this for the ink to sort of fill in that really shallow channel. So what you have to do is use a combination of tools. So try the number 1, you can also try the 2. The number 2 tool is my favorite to use because you get a deep line, but you can still get a really fine detailed line. So you can kind of see I'm just practicing. Now I hope you've noticed where my other hand is. I'm never ever carving towards my finger. I always keep my hand on the other side of the block to hold it steady, but not to carve towards my hand. And just like when we use the compass, if you're doing something that's round, you don't turn the hand with the tool, you turn the block itself. Okay? So those were the different tools. This is the 3. So it's a little bit wider of a V. And then the 4 is more of a square-shaped channel. Okay? So you do need to be careful. Now I'm going to go on to my regular block. I'm going to move all these little scraps out of the way. Okay, so now I'm ready to carve on my block. And a couple of tricks. The first thing that you want to do is you want to make sure that you carve on your lines, all of your lines first. So I'm going to start with the 2, and I'm going to start carving on my lines. I'm making sure I'm keeping my hand out of the way. Okay, after you've carved all of your lines, you're ready to go back and make decisions about places where you want to carve out the complete inside of a space. And I'm going to show you an example. So this is a printed mandala, and this is my stamp. Okay, so can you see where I've carved out completely on the inside of these like triangle shapes? What happens then is you get no ink on those areas. So when you go to stamp it, those areas stay the color of your paper. So in this instance, the paper that I printed on was white, and I used kind of like I made this sort of reddish orange ink. So any place where I carved out completely, I took out the whole inside of a shape, that stays the white of the paper, okay? You want to find a way to get a good balance between lines carved out and spaces carved out. So now I'm going to look at my block that I'm working on here, and you can mark with a pencil if you'd like the places that you think you want to take out all of the background space. So it would be maybe a good idea for me to take out these two spaces here. Okay, now remember that this whole space, all of this up here will be gone. You're going to bring this to me when you're done, and I'll cut these right along that curved edge for you. So I didn't carve on the lines up here because I was thinking that I would do some carving out of the spaces up here. So I'm going to do that as well. And down here on the bottom, I'm also going to carve out some spaces. So you just kind of have to pick and choose and make sure you have enough, but not too much, obviously, because if you carve out too much, you won't have anything left to your block. So to carve out the centers of the spaces, what I do is I go back and forth and I follow the contour of the shape. So I'm going around and around and around until I get it all taken out. You sometimes see these carved areas where you've taken out the center, so you want to do a neat job with the carving so that the lines look intentional and look kind of cool on your print versus looking messy, okay? So I'm also going to take out the inside of this space here. So same thing. Okay, I'm still thinking about if there are any other places that I want to carve out completely, but I think I'm going to leave it like this for now. And what I'm going to do is do a test print. So you can bring me your block once you think you have it done, and we'll cut off this top edge, and you can bring me the block and I can help you do a test print where we can look at the printout, and then you can make decisions about if there's more areas that you want to cut out. Okay, good luck. Please take your time. Remember that these tools are sharp and they can cut you if you're not careful. Good luck.